I started a band called the Mystery Girls that lasted roughly 2 weeks, and I really wasn't interested. And after we split up, things like John Peel sessions came in. We were kind of a, electric guitar and drum band and stuff like that, and that really didn't interest me. I was more interested in things like Sylvester and, early disco and stuff, and that the original punks were into Sylvester and early disco. The thing is, I don't like rehashes of something that I've heard before, and that's the thing about getting older. You realise there is nothing new. And in many ways, I think it's time to die, because there's nothing new that impresses me, because I've heard it before and I know where it's come from. And that happened in my 40s. Every record I knew where it was stolen from. Even the Pet Shop Boys' West End Girls, the chord structure was identical to Sylvester's Mighty Real, so I'd heard it before. What I found very churlish about pop music is nobody ever mentions where they get their influences from. They're ashamed of their influences. They don't mention it. They'll mention anything else. Like if you interviewed somebody like the Pet Shop Boys, although I adore what they do, I think they're very unique. If you'd interviewed them then, they'd have probably said that they liked Aerosmith. They wouldn't have admitted to listening to Sylvester, because they would have thought, oh, well, we're obviously stealing something from Sylvester, so we don't want to acknowledge him. I've always acknowledged my influences. There were disco records out in the early 70s by artists like Sylvester that I liked, and I wanted to make a record like one of them. And if it was just purely high energy spin, it would have been just stuck in clubs and not been a hit, because Sylvester didn't have many hits. He had Mighty Real, and everyone knows him for, but he did far better things than Mighty Real and had a huge catalogue that's largely forgotten. I just wanted to make a record like he'd made, not necessarily Mighty Real, the other stuff that came after. And that there is a time when it no longer stimulates you, so I wasn't actually out there in the acid house scene looking for new ideas. As far as I was concerned, it was a bunch of kids taking silly drugs and dancing like idiots to hypnotic music. It didn't have the glitter about it that disco had. None of the records were as positive as a Donna Summer or a Sylvester record or a Bobby O record. They were just a mindless drone from what I heard, and I think you needed to be on drugs to actually enjoy them.
Look at your jewelry. All right.
That's my wedding set.
That's your wedding set. All right. Who are you married to?
Rick.
Good. Now, let me ask.
Oh, God, I'm sorry.
No. What?
Rick's parents are watching.
Yeah? Surprise.
Oh, so they're identical.
Yeah,
Let's have a look, because you've not got a microphone on, so I'm not sure if we'll be able to hear you, but can you... Oh, this is so nice. When are you going to get married?
What it symbolises is underneath all of this flesh, we are bone. And underneath this, we're souls. mine was Marauder and Sylvester. Patrick Cowley, more Patrick Cowley than Bobby O were my influences, and I've never made a record that comes anywhere near the quality of a Sylvester record. He has a huge catalogue that everyone should check out, and that's my influences, and I've stolen things blatantly from him. And he's dead now, but he did such a body of great work. He was working like on an indie scene and recording in somebody's house because there was no money to finance him after Mighty Real because he blew it all, but he still continued to make these amazing disco records that were euphoric. You didn't need drugs to get high listening to those. And to this day, I play them to younger people and they go, oh my God, this is fantastic. I want to go out and dance. And if something can have that much of a positive effect on you just musically, then it's a good thing. Sylvester record, he has a huge catalogue that everyone should check out.